These heavy dual motor bikes are tanks. This is a monster. The bumps don't exist for this bike. Just send it. Send it, bro. Oh, the brakes are singing. We've been at 0 for a while. Come on, why won't you die? Just stop it already. Battery bar is gonna go into the negative. We're getting energy from another universe. That's Wallke's secret for unlimited range. What's up, guys? It's Alex from Maximum Charge, and this is the Wallke X3 Max. Now, this is a full-size, dual suspension, dual motor monster of an e-bike. Now, this thing also comes with a rear rack, a big headlight, and some ginormous 203mm rotors with quad piston calipers. But there's one thing that I really wish this e-bike had, and it desperately needs this one thing. So the single motor version of this bike, the X3 Pro, comes with one 20 amp hour battery. And you guessed it, this one also comes with one 20 amp hour battery. And in my opinion, for dual motors, that's just not gonna cut it. And in today's range tests, you guys are gonna see just how much range you can get with one 20 amp hour battery. And we do bring the battery all the way down to 0%. And if you guys do wanna check out this bike, it is listed in the description below, along with any coupon codes or discounts that I might be able to offer. So today, as always, we're gonna go over the specs and components of the Wallke X3 Max, and then take it out for a test ride. Let's jump right in. All right, guys, let's take a look at the specs and components of the Wallke X3 Max. Let's start up at the top. Simple rubber grips, hydraulic disc brake levers, made by DY Island. Control panel, a bright, clear, and minimalist looking display. USB port under the display. Shimano 7-speed shifter and a half twist throttle. And we also get a horn button. That is a good sounding horn. And this bike does come with wider than usual handlebars for enhanced off-road control. Short style Neko stem, bunch of spacers to give the handlebars a little bit of rise. Nice looking cable management, nice bright looking front headlight, plastic fenders in the front and the back. Looks like the front fork has compression and lockout adjustment, along with a basic preload adjustment. 26 by 4 inch Chow Yang knobbies. So it looks like we have some kind of special torque washer in here to make sure this wheel sits in place and it doesn't fly out. And this bike does have holes in the actual rim, which do help a little bit with weight reduction, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it also helps with making the tire feel a little bit softer. So what happens is if you hit a bump really hard with the tire, the pressure kind of expands into these holes and it increases the shock absorption. I could be wrong, you guys let me know in the comments, but it does add a certain aesthetic to this tire. So love it or hate it kind of thing. And these things are protruding quite a bit. I added 30 PSI into the tires. And here's our 1000 watt rated front motor. And we've got some gigantic 203mm rotors with quad piston calipers. Same setup in the back. And these rotors have a lot of metal. Not only are they large in diameter, they just in general have a lot of metal, and they are also extra thick. And so what that's going to help with is, number one, the diameter. Obviously it's going to help with initial stopping power, but it's going to help keep these rotors on the cooler side, because as the brakes work, the rotors are going to heat up, and if you have a bigger rotor, they're going to heat up less, and more surface area is going to allow the rotor to cool down a lot faster. Big orange reflector in the front and back wheel. Wallke logo on the frame, and this is where the 20 amp hour battery sits. Charge port, which I think normally comes with a cover that is pushed in here and then in here, but my bike did not come with that cover. Keyhole for the battery. X3 Max. 750 pound rated rear suspension. Foldable pedals. Hey guys, this seat is phenomenal. This is a super squishy, nice wide seat. This is one of the most comfortable seats I've been on a stock e-bike. I probably wouldn't even replace this seat. It's insanely comfortable. It almost feels like it has some kind of gel inside. Super squishy. And we got some springs in the back seat as well. Looks like we get a fairly robust looking rear rack. This looks like it can hold a lot of weight. Brake light, nice little Wallke logo when the lights are on, and it still functions as a brake light. Shimano Altus derailleur with a derailleur guard, 7-speed Shimano transmission, and another 1000 watt nominal rated geared hub motor in the back. Medium-sized chainring with only one side having the chain guard. I did already take this bike out for its maiden voyage, and it looks like the chain did leave some marks in the paint on the chainstay over here, and so I wish this did have a little bit more protection. And here's the latch for the main center folding mechanism. Folding up the bike is fairly straightforward. Simply unlatch the center, push in the middle to break the fold, set it down on the bottom bracket near the chain guard, and once the bike is unfolded, you'll be able to remove the 20 amp hour battery from the frame of the bike. And here's what I look like at 5'10" while sitting on the bike at the lowest seating position. This bike is advertised to fit riders between 5'6" and 6'5". The rear suspension travel is great. Just be aware that when the seat is at its lowest position, it will hit the front of the rear rack when the suspension is fully compressed. And here's what the front suspension travel looks like on the budget front fork. This bike weighs 87 pounds and has a maximum advertised payload of 400 pounds. And guys, let's take a look at the control panel. So let's go ahead and turn it on. Got our nice little Wallke logo right over there. You could switch it to show your average speed, the time that this bike has been ridden, I guess, odometer, max speed, average speed. And to change the drive mode of this bike from rear wheel drive to front wheel drive, you hold down the I button, and that'll switch it to the front wheel drive, all wheel drive, and I'm not sure what this mode is, but you still get power from both wheels. Let's bring it back to rear wheel drive. And obviously you have your battery indicator up top. Light is turned on with this single button right here. This bike has 5 levels of pedal assist. Hold the minus button down for a slow walk mode. And to get into the advanced settings, you hold the plus and minus buttons down. Looks like we have our standard display settings. Let's take a look at that. Trip reset. Here you can switch from kilometers an hour to miles an hour. Wheel size to adjust your speedometer accuracy. Speed limit, you know how we do it here, folks. We just bring that all the way up. I don't want any limits at all in my speed. Voltage, obviously keep that at 48. LCD brightness, 100% as far as possible. SOC view. Look at that, so you can set the battery to show you voltage. That is fantastic. Let's keep it at voltage. I think AL sensitivity stands for automatic light, and so that'll determine at what point your lights are going to turn on. Maybe it's only a little bit dim, maybe it's very dark, you can decide. And obviously the dormancy period, so let's say you turn the bike on, you're not using it, how long will it stay on? Yeah, look at that, now we have voltage, 47.5 volts, that's great. Let's get back in the settings. Advanced settings. So here you can adjust how many pedal assist levels you have. Looks like we can go all the way up to 9. Personally, I like keeping things simple. I just like 0 to 3, but we're just gonna leave it at 0 to 5 for now. And look at that, you can adjust the intensity of each pedal assist level too. That is fantastic. So this is a pretty good display, very customizable. Current limit, this doesn't change anything. You won't get any more power. It's set to 30. Typically that's locked in the controller, so even if you do increase it, you're not going to get any more power, and it was set to 30 automatically. Don't mess with the speed sensor. Start strength, we just brought that all the way up as high as possible. Sensitivity, I think when you increase that, it makes the pedal assist sensor a little bit more sensitive, so we just brought that up as high as possible as well. Here you can set a password, so when you turn the bike on, it'll request a password. Motor mode, don't touch that. Info, just gives us some software info. And let's go back. So guys, those are the specs and components of the Wallke X3 Max. Next up, we're gonna take it out on a test ride where we're gonna do some moderate and steep hill climb testing, off-road testing, brake testing, top speed testing, steep off-road hill climbing testing, all the tests. And you guys are gonna see the performance of this Wallke X3 Max, this dual motor, full suspension beast. Let's jump right in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we are on the Wallke X3 Max. This is Wallke's newest dual motor offering. I know they have a single motor version of this bike, and this one has two. It's got dual motors. So we're gonna bring it through its paces. We'll do all the testing. We'll do the 0 to 20 test right now. We'll do this long main hill climb test. You guys know how we do it here. Guys, it is a beautiful day. It's actually in the 50s right now, close to, I think it's actually in the 60s right now. I'm in a t-shirt right now. This is crazy. I have sweatpants on and I'm sweating already. We'll head over to our 0 to 20 test site. So we'll start at our initial test site right here. Bring it up to pedal assist 5. We're on a full fresh charge. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, throttle only, 0 to 20. 3, 2, 1, boom. Oh, pretty strong start. 20. And it looks like the speedometer is mostly accurate for the most part. Looks pretty good. Looks like throttle is linked with the pedal assist level, so pedal assist 1 cuts us off at 11 miles an hour. That's with dual motors. Single motor, yeah, it looks like single motor, same thing. Switch it back to dual motor. Pedal assist 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna test out the Wallke X3 Max up our main hill climb test. See where it lands on the leaderboard. Fully freshly charged. Warm day today. There's about 25 psi in each tire. I'm 200 pounds, no backpack, no jacket, so no extra added weight. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. Oh, that motor is vibrating. Alright. It's kind of a strange noise. We're flying, guys! Alright, finishing off at about 23 miles an hour. Downhill speed test. The free spinning wheel is about, I think 30 something miles an hour. And that's just for the back, so about 32, 33 miles an hour. So let's see where it takes us down this hill. I'm gonna guess it'll take us right about to that speed because dual motors has quite a bit of power. Yeah. It looks like I felt the power actually cut off at like 30 something miles an hour. Interesting. So it has more in the tank. It's got some power left, but it cuts me off. That's interesting. So maybe no matter what, the top speed will be like 30 something miles an hour. Switch it to rear motor only to conserve battery while we head over to our steep hill climb test. And guys, if you do like content like this, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. If I've earned your subscription, like the video if you like it. Let me know what you think about this bike. Let's see how these handlebars fit between the wall and the telephone pole. They are on the wider side, but not too wide. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and I have 2 Facebook groups, e-bike addicts and high-speed e-bikes 40 miles an hour and over. If you don't like this bike, tell me why in the comments. Tell me why you're mad. It's a beautiful day. Everyone's outside right now. All right. Switching it to dual motors. Pedal assist 5, if that makes a difference. Here we go. Stopping at this line, and we'll give it a rolling start up the steep hill. 12 miles an hour. Okay. 11. These are full-size wheels, so we'll have a little bit less torque than with some of the smaller wheeled dual motor bikes. So 11 miles an hour, that's where we kind of stopped. That's where it slowed down. That will be the speed up the steep hill. And now let's head on down to our top speed test. We're gonna mess around with the wheel size and see if maybe we can trick it into going faster. From what I hear, that might work with some bikes. I've tried it on some other bikes and it doesn't do anything, but maybe we'll get lucky. Who knows? Brake test. Oh my God, these brakes are crazy strong. Wow. There are some big rotors and big quad piston calipers. Let's do that again. Brake test, 20 miles an hour. Jesus. These brakes are no joke. All right. Something got out of alignment. I hear the disc rubbing now. Something shifted around. Well, hopefully you guys can't hear that. Lesson learned, to always tighten up your brake calipers. I didn't really adjust it because it didn't need to be adjusted out of the box. So I didn't adjust it at all. I didn't have to tighten any of the bolts at all. But hopefully you guys can't hear that. That's a simple fix. you just kind of realign the caliper with the disc and you're good to go. You just tighten those bolts down real good. But ladies and gentlemen, we are headed to our top speed test, and we'll mess around with the wheel size. We'll see if maybe we can trick this thing into giving us more top speed, because it stops you. It cuts off power at like 33 miles an hour, and I'm not okay with that. I mean, maybe that's as fast as this will go, who knows? Maybe we won't even get there. Maybe this is like a 30-mile-an-hour bike. We'll find out. All right. Bring it up to pedal assist 5. Dual motors. See what happens. Here we go. Hear that disc brake. 28, 29. Yeah, guys, we don't even have to adjust the wheel size. It's not even gonna get close to the free spinning mile-an-hour limit. 30, 31, 32. Yeah, it's still giving us a little bit of power. All right, so this is a 32-mile-an-hour bike. And now we're gonna do the off-road test. And this is a dual suspension, full-size bike, dual motor, big 26 by 4-inch wheels, and a squishy seat that has suspension. So this is nothing, guys. So this is just flying over this. Easy. This is a tank. These heavy dual motor bikes are tanks. They're not the most nimble bikes, but for stuff like this is a monster. The bumps don't exist for this bike. If the tire pressure was set to maybe 20, it'd be even better. The shocks are a little bit clunky, but this thing just powers through anything. Jesus. Look at this. Powers through. Yeah, I hear stuff rattling around everywhere. We're in dual motor mode. Well, it powered through just fine. And now we're gonna head on back and do the same thing. Dual motor, full-size bikes, they're just tanks, guys. They're made for traction and stuff like this. The seating position on this bike is on the aggressive side. It's not a high handlebarred e-bike. Although it does have some rise in the stem. I do feel myself putting some weight on the handlebars. And I guess that's good if you are going to be doing aggressive off-roading. But when it comes to overall long-distance riding, you are going to feel pressure in your hands. Let's continue on, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go to our big field for some steep off-road hill climb testing, because I think that's where this bike is really going to shine. And now that we've done most of our initial testing, we're pretty much just going to use dual motors for the rest of the ride and see what kind of range we get. So the first 3 miles of this ride, I was kind of babying the battery. I wasn't using up a lot of power, because I want to see what the tests are like with as much voltage as possible. But this is a 20 amp hour battery with 2 motors, 2 power hungry motors. So I'm really curious what kind of range we're going to get with this bike. We'll at least get to 10 miles and see where the voltage is of this battery. But we'll do a little bit of pedaling, even on dual motor mode. So this thing's got some pretty good speed. We're hitting 30 miles an hour pretty easily. The brakes are phenomenal, and that disc brake fixed itself. It's not making any more rubbing noise, thankfully. I'm mostly worried about the video. I just don't want the video to sound terrible, because that can get real annoying if the entire video you guys are watching and you just hear the brake rubbing. The front wheel does have a decent amount of power off the line. It wants to brake traction. It's not enough power to brake traction though. Anyone want a bumper? All right, let's cross it on over. Down we go. You can see right now, this is really where this bike is gonna shine. The dual motors are just gonna power through all of this. If we hit any kind of low traction environment, it's just gonna crush it. We're on dual motor right now, pedal assist 2, lower gear. Just chilling, the lowest gear. Would be nice if the gearing was a little bit lower, but guys, you got dual motors. You're not really gonna be pedaling this thing too crazy. All right, guys, let's continue on. And the battery is 47%. We've gone 6 miles, so yeah, we might use up this whole battery, guys. We'll see. Look at this hill, guys. This is a hill I've been starting to add into my reviews. It's an insanely steep and long hill that's off-road, so it's bumpy. So this is a very, very challenging hill for most e-bikes to get up. We're gonna try it. We're on pedal assist 5. We'll try throttle only. We'll get our drone. We'll see if it can follow me up this hill. All right, see how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, 3, 2, 1, throttle only, go. It's not gonna do it. Let's go back. Let's give it a rolling start. See how it performs. Here we go. 10-mile-an-hour rolling start. Come on, baby. See, it's not gonna do it. Even with dual motors, this thing doesn't have the power. And maybe that's because my battery's at 40%. I don't know. And so the third test is gonna be going up this hill while pedaling and dual motors. Man, this thing, I thought that would do better. Interesting. All right, drone, you're done for the day. Good work. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue on. We're at a 45% battery level. We'll keep it on dual motors, 6.35 miles. Here we go. Crossing over. You know what? I'm actually gonna go back and take some pictures. I forgot to take some pictures in that field. That's where I get a lot of my thumbnail photos. That's fine, we'll just add a little bit of mileage to the ride. Brakes are amazing though. This thing stops on a dime. There we go, just send it. Send it, bro. Lots of rattles. Let's take some pictures and move on. All right, guys, moving on again. Here we go. So far, the seat is actually really good. The seat comfort. This is a very squishy seat. Oh, the chain fell off. I'm pedaling. I'm like, what is happening? I'm not getting any resistance at all. Why don't we fix that? All right. But yeah, this seat, very, very, very squishy seat. It's probably my favorite part about this bike is the seat. Moving on. Another hill climb. Pedal, 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 pedal. I mean, don't get me wrong, those dual motors definitely help a lot. But the battery is really draining pretty quickly. Like right now, we're showing 36%. So we might just drain the battery entirely in just this one quick ride. Next up, testing the infamous sidewalk in my town. Very bumpy. We're gonna gun it, guys, to see how this bike does. This is throttle only. Oh man, lots of bumps. We're killing it, guys. We're getting there. You know what I've been feeling? So I have the seat down all the way, and the swing arm is obviously doing its job. The suspension's working. I'm feeling this part of the rear rack on my butt towards the end. So it's like pushing up. I'm like, what is happening? Is the seat really that low? No. This whole thing is coming up, and I feel this end pushing right here. So, hey, at least we've got suspension travel in the back. But yeah, I was like, what is happening? All right, that's good to know. Moving on. Let's see what the top speed is like. Dual motor at 30% battery. So we're leveling off right here. All right, so we lost about 1 to 2 miles an hour. 31 miles an hour. That's not bad, guys. That is faster than your legal 28 mile an hour class 3 limit. This bike is a little bit faster than some single motor 48 volt bikes. For dual motors, I was expecting more though. So we're at a lower voltage, lower battery percentage, under load. Right now it's just accelerating. We're down to 26% battery. Let's see how it does up this hill. All right, we're gonna throttle only, pedal assist 5, giving it as much power as possible. And we're still crushing it. Dual motors, dual motors. Hill climbing is where it really shines. We'll pedal a little bit for the duration of the ride. I think we'll probably use up the rest of the battery. We're at 8 miles right now. And it is warm, guys. It's like 60 degrees. For this part of the country, it's warm. I do get plenty of pedal resistance, even almost to 30 miles an hour. I can still keep pedaling quite a bit. So you're not gonna be really ghost pedaling this bike, thankfully. Yeah, I'm pedaling comfortably, gear number 7, almost 28 miles an hour. We're doing just fine. Let's pedal hard. Here we go, pedal, pedal. Oh, look at that. The battery meter just turned red, and it's showing us 19%. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna head back to where my house is because I wanna make sure I don't run out of power. Come to a complete stop. Here we go. Back on my beloved sidewalk. We're crushing it, guys. Pretty comfortable ride, honestly. I took a hardtail e-mountain bike on this route earlier today, and that was brutal because I had a little bit more PSI in the tires, and obviously it's a hardtail, and it was a more of a aggressive style e-mountain bike seat. But this seat is nice and cushy and comfy, plus the rear suspension, plus 25 PSI in the tires, and I think the holes in the wheels, that seems to, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that relieves some pressure from when your tire hits a bump. It relieves a little bit of pressure, so it kind of makes the wheels a little bit softer. I could be wrong, you guys let me know. I think what we're gonna do is honestly just ride this bike as long as we can until the battery dies. So my final thoughts on the Wallke X3 Max, the dual motor, 48 volt, 20 amp hour e-bike, full suspension, foldable. I don't know. It's a budget option for sure. The 20 amp hour battery does not last long with dual motors. Like, we're not even at 10 miles and the battery bar is showing me 14%. That's not that good, guys. That's not good. If you get this bike, you might want to carry a second battery unless you're doing some kind of long rides. And even if you're someone who likes to pedal and not use a lot of power, this probably wouldn't be the best bike for you, because why would you get a dual motor bike if you're not going to use it? You might as well get a single motor bike. It's a lot lighter, get some better gearing. I do like the brakes on this bike. The brakes are insane. Watch this. Jesus. The back wheel lifted up. For a 26 by 4 inch wheeled bike, that's nuts. Although now I'm hearing some rotor rubbing again, unfortunately, but that's just because I didn't tighten the rotor. Poor girl's trying to train her dogs. Hopefully you guys can't hear that rotor rubbing, but that's an easy fix. You just tighten it up, and honestly, it might even fix itself like it did earlier. The dual suspension does feel pretty nice. I do feel it working, and the seat comfort is unbelievable. This is one of the most comfortable seats I've ever had on a stock e-bike before. Gearing is pretty good, pretty much no ghost pedaling at all. I do feel like it probably could go a little bit faster. It wants to go faster, it wants to give me more power. I do feel like with a dual motor bike, you kind of expect a little bit more speed. We got 33 miles an hour out of this bike. Hill climbing is pretty good. Better than a single motor, of course. The headlight is good, nice and bright. In terms of aesthetics, the bike looks pretty good. I like the rear rack, very useful. It's got the fenders too. It's a decent looking bike. So now what I want to do is see if I could just kill the battery on this bike. Let's just drain it completely. It's at 10%. We're at 10.26 miles. We'll just keep riding it around. Pedal assist 5. And when it stops giving me power, the video is over. I suspect we're almost there, but look at this. We can still get power up to like 30 miles an hour. 8%. Oh, the brakes are singing. And that usually gets better as you bed the brakes in. We'll keep riding around, guys. I'll let you guys know the final mileage when the battery stops giving me power. We're at 7%, 10.73 miles. I did keep this battery on the charger even after the light turned green. From what I hear, that helps balance the cells out a bit. So I think I kept it on the charger maybe for an extra half an hour to an hour after the light turned green. All right, we're seeing 6%, guys. A lot of vibrations from the front, right around 15 miles an hour. All right, 5%, 4%, 3%. Look at this, I'm still getting 30 miles an hour at 3% battery. That's crazy. So we're at 2% battery. Let's see if it can climb this hill, throttle only. See how it goes. Dual motors. Guys, we're getting some solid power for a battery that's almost gone. Not bad. 1%. Let's try our main hill climb test at 1% battery. We're at 14.16 miles on this bike. Here we go. So much vibration at 15 miles an hour. I don't know what is vibrating up there. This thing does not have metal fenders. Guys, I don't know where this bike is getting all this power. We're at 1% battery. 20 miles an hour still. So even though the battery looks like it drains fairly quickly, you still get lots of power at lower ranges. I know I've been riding around well past the end of the review, but I want to show you guys where this bike gives up. Going to lowest gear. Let's try this hill climb again. 1% battery. Let's just keep going. See if I can get this thing to at least 15 miles. That's my guess as to where it'll cut off. Now we're saying 0%. We're still getting power, guys. At 0% battery, we're going 30 miles an hour. It's just the battery that keeps on giving, huh? The bottomless pit. I am feeling it starting to give out a little bit, though. All right, 0% battery. Still going 29. This is crazy. I mean, obviously the torque is going to be a lot less, but if you're on flat ground on pavement, you might be all right. Actually, you will be all right. I think this headlight is vibrating. Yeah, if I hold it, it stops vibrating. I think this is the hill that's gonna kill it. I feel a lot less power now. We're at 16.37 miles. Still going. Jesus. We've been at 0 for a while. Still going though. Come on, why won't you die? Just stop it already. Battery bar is gonna go into the negative. We're getting energy from another universe. That's Wallke's secret for unlimited range. Stealing electricity from another parallel universe. Unlimited battery. We're struggling now. This feels like 0%. I feel the bike like lunging forwards a little bit and then letting off. Lunging forwards, letting off. Lunging forwards, letting off. Yeah, look how slow we are now, guys. We're near the end. Oh boy. 16.9 miles. We've been at 0% for a long time. Oh man, we're barely getting any power now. Dual motor, pedal assist 5. I'm holding the throttle. Just crossed into 17 miles. Throttle only going up this hill. We're not getting anything. What happens if we switch to single motor? Still barely getting power. I'm surprised it's not shutting off. Yeah, so we're not getting anything really. Watch. Watch this acceleration. That's single motor. Front motor. Dual motor. Yeah, we're getting nothing, guys. We're at 17 miles. If you're pedaling more, you'll probably hit 20. So yeah, not that much range for this bike. And that's 20 miles until the bitter end. Like right now, we're not getting any power at all. I am using all leg power. So realistically, this is a 15-mile bike. Guys, if you do want to check this bike out, I'll leave a link in the description below with any coupon codes or discounts I can offer. They'll be listed down there. Let me know what you think about this bike in the comments. Would you buy it? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? Let me know, guys. If you like content like this, please feel free to subscribe. If I've earned your subscription, like the video if you like it. If you don't like it, tell me why in the comments. Tell me why you're mad. Follow me on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I do have 2 Facebook groups, E-Bike Addicts and High Speed E-Bikes, 40 miles an hour plus. That's it for today, folks.